Have you figured out your niche? Are you helping adding value to other people's lives? Then you're in the right place. Welcome to Munira's Musings with your host, co-author of Conversations with Top Real Estate Investors Volume 3, Munira Zahabi.
Greetings from Chicagoland. This is Munira, your host for Munira's Musings. Welcome to yet another edition of Munira's Musings. Today our guest is Regena. Hi, Regena. Thank you so much for being on my show.
Absolutely. Thank you for the opportunity, Munira. I appreciate it.
You are welcome. And tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So I am actually a realtor. I'm a licensed realtor and working now with mostly investors, but also first-time home buyers. And of course, people look to transition into either a newer home or downsizing. A lot of opportunities here in South Florida and also nationally. I'm expanding to a team format, which is really exciting. And I'm also a certified yoga instructor, which I love teaching yoga, especially to kids and adults as well. And I work with classes and also private sessions.
Thank you. So what she hasn't told you is that she's a spiritual junkie.
It's actually called spiritual junkie. So yes, you're right.
So I'm curious to learn about that. But before we jump in, let me tell you a little bit about who I am and what Munira's Musing is about. I'm Munira Zahabi, and I am in Chicagoland. I am the niche navigator, where I help coaches and businesspreneurs find their niche. A niche is the cornerstone of your building block, because that's where you're going to build a very sustaining business. And Munira's Musings, because on my journey when I was looking for what my niche was, I came across people who are doing extraordinary things that was just blowing my mind. Find these people and then I expose them and promote them on my show. And it allows me to discover a few things that they are doing and allows me to connect people to people, because my friend Patricia says people need people, right? And I believe that as well.
Yeah.
So let's get into the interview, Regena. So how did you get into real estate? And then, of course, we'll ask you about the spiritual junkie.
Yeah, of course. So how I got into real estate, it's pretty simple. My family, actually, I remember I was raised in Maryland. My parents are from Ukraine, and I'm first generation, and very blessed to be, because I feel that I have an opportunity to, really help people, not only my family, but also help others with the quote unquote American dream. And for a lot of people, that's home ownership. And that's, sometimes even having their own business, which now my family, my parents have been able to do both, which is really, really exciting. And so when I was in Maryland, I remember we were often looking for property, looking for our next home. And the realtor, I was young then, I was small. And the realtor, I think first time was about 16 or 17. And the realtor would say to me, "Oh, have you ever thought about being a real estate agent?" And I would laugh and I'd say, no, that's not for me," or whatever I would say. And then the next realtor would say the same thing. And so after about 5 or 6 realtors, I thought to myself, over the course of several years, I thought to myself, oh, wow, maybe there's something here. So by the time I got to, I believe it was about 22, I decided, okay, I'm going to get my real estate license when I moved to Florida. And that's what I did.
So it was a suggested niche.
It was, yeah. And I love looking at property. I loved the idea of helping people with owning property. And so now I do it a little bit differently. I do it more on the investing side as well as, traditional homes. But I really do love the idea of building wealth through real estate, because I've been able to see a lot of people successful with it, and bringing in that spiritual element of consciousness feels really good.
Awesome. So you like yoga, and so what's a spiritual junkie? I have to ask you this.
Yes. So I'm also a certified coach. I've actually been working on my coaching certification through a few different programs, and one of them is actually called Spirit Junkies, which is through Gabby Bernstein, who is a very well-renowned coach out of New York City. and she has a huge following. She does meditation and mindfulness, and she's also branded under Spiritual Gangstas, which is kind of a cool, tagline or brand that they offer or that they've created. And so I'm certified level 1 and working on level 2 now. And I've also been trained under what's called the One Philosophy with Nancy Matthews, which is a connection I have through Pat Rogers, which is where we met. And the One Philosophy is an amazing, amazing culture. And it's a lot like what I feel is yoga, which is consciousness and mindfulness, and a lot, even, branding with Keller Williams, which is who I'm licensed with. A lot of it is all about creating a powerful life and helping impact other people. And so I really use that theology in everything that I do. I do my best to do that because I really do feel that it's about helping impact people and not just about selling a property or doing yoga. It's about actually making an impact in someone's life and making a difference.
So what are you going to coach on?
Well, what I do coach on, I actually have a coaching client right now that I'm working with. It's a corporate coaching client. And what we coach on is life skills, how to live a more powerful life. We focus on meditation. We focus on mindfulness, how to use practical tools to make life more manageable, more fulfilling, and how to, really take simple tools like breath, mindfulness, visualization, and elements of yoga into our everyday life.
How did you, why coaching?
Why coaching? Well, that's a great question. I think coaching happens naturally. For those of us, I feel that are on the self-development path or on the personal development path, that is it's a theme that really weaves into everything that we do. And I've always found myself growing and learning and wanting to learn how to be the best version of myself. And so for me, there's been many, many, many times, including now, where I resist coaching personally because I don't always know how or want to do the work that it takes to get there, right? To be the person that I want to be. And that might come in a very simple form of just not knowing how to do it or just our mind playing tricks on us. And so what I found is that when I'm willing to go into coaching programs and be held accountable through a coach, I really find myself stepping into higher realms and deeper elements of my best self. And so I love being able to support other people with that as well. And I do that in my real estate, whether I'm helping, lift up another agent or helping train somebody. The coaching just comes naturally, I feel, and I've been perhaps gifted that, and I love having that. So I'm exercising that muscle more and more these days.
Okay, so do you have any tips and tricks for our viewers, those who want to go into real estate or people who want to start coaching?
Yeah, absolutely. So the first and foremost is find a good coach. Find someone that you trust and someone that you feel is able, not just capable, but is willing to push you and encourage you in those moments when you're not willing or able to acknowledge maybe your own limiting beliefs or your blind spots. That's really what a coach does, is it helps us to see those areas of blind spots, because we all have them, right? When we're driving a car, we all know that there's areas when we look behind, we can't see everything because we're busy driving. And so we can continue to look forward, but every once in a while, there's going to be things in our peripheral vision that keep us maybe limited in our view. So a good coach is going to encourage you to be your best. And I highly, highly encourage mentorship and coaching, finding someone that you trust. That's the first step. And, just being willing to try something different. Thinking outside of the box would be the next thing, is be willing to do what others won't. So, for example, like I actually door knock. That's a strategy that I use to help meet homeowners. And I pick up the phone and I do what's called lead generation. And in any business, that's an important aspect, because if we're not feeding our database doesn't thrive. And so it's really important to be able to connect with those people that need your help. in whatever business you're in. So if it's someone that's looking to get into real estate, it's important to be willing to do what others aren't willing to do. And of course, mentorship and coaching is a big piece of that puzzle, I feel, in any business.
Any last words?
Yeah, just, be awesome. Be awesome. Find what you're passionate about. And I would say for those that aren't sure what you're passionate about, ask the people around you, when they see you happy, what is it that makes you happy? Because I know there's times in all of our lives where we question what's going on. And, personally, maybe we're not always clear of the direction that we're going. And so it's important to, or I don't want to maybe rephrase that. We're not always sure that the path we're on is the one we're supposed to be on. And so in order to really connect with that piece of ourselves, it's important to know what lights us up. So trusting the people around you, your friends, your family, the people that really know you well, ask them to remind you. Like today, I got a beautiful message from my sister, actually, which was very thoughtful and sweet. And it was, she shared something with me that I didn't know she felt about me. And so it was really nice to just get that sweet message. And it was just a reminder that people around us actually they're watching. And so allow yourself to be seen. It's really the message I'd say. Allow yourself to be seen.
Something that you want to take initiative and start in your life. One of the things that I know Regena and I have spoken about before is the fact that, if you feel like this is something that you want to do, then just begin, right? And that's my message for everybody today is if you feel that you want to do something or you are born to do something, just start it. It doesn't mean you have to be perfect. You will perfect yourself as you go along, but just begin. Well, thank you, Regena, for being on my show. I appreciate it. I am honored and humbled. And for those of you watching, if you would like to share, subscribe, and, like the video, I'd really appreciate it. Join us for another episode on Munira's Musings. Have a good day.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Munira's Musings with your host, Munira Zahabi. If you enjoyed our show, please share and subscribe to this channel. And for more content, please join our Facebook group.